Welcome to the Keychain podcast, where every key tells a story.
I'm Matt.
I'm Mish.
And today we're giving you an inside look at the people, the partners, and the purpose behind the Matt Harnick team at Keller Williams. Special one today. We had a client event last week when we actually did our third tour of Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
And today we were just going to really just talk to you about it and just kind of sum up how it went because it was awesome.
Client events are one of my favorite things to do. And I think it's one of the incredible benefits of working with our team is that you are invited from the time that we say, hi, we're the Matt Harnick team. We want you to feel included. And this time, I think I said it while we were there and I'll say it again. I think this one was the best one yet. I really do.
No doubt.
We had over 100 people that went through with us. It was a very large group, but they did an amazing job of keeping us all together and not getting lost with telling us all of the information that comes along with doing the tour, right? So this fly, man, it is all over the place today. But when you do these tours, you tend to be like, oh, it's a large group. You're going to miss information. You're not going to hear anybody. I think everybody heard everything that they were saying. People were asking some incredible questions. If you were a part of our poll that I posted on Instagram about the gallons of paint that it takes to paint the field.
175 or
185 gallons. Of paint. Like, that's insane.
To paint Lincoln Financial Field.
Yeah. And we also learned that Temple is actually going to get their stuff painted on the field this year, which is the first time they said in a couple years.
Yep.
So that's phenomenal. Like, there were so many little tips and tricks that goes behind the scenes to make it worthy of football season. And it was just so cool to talk to people. We saw some clients that we haven't seen in a really long time.
Yep.
And we met some great people from the community. We had some family members there. So it was just a really fun day to just say, thank you for supporting our business.
Thank you for supporting our business for sure. I mean, obviously that's one of the reasons that we have people out is because it's a great way to reconnect with clients and meet people that they know and sort of just, have a chance to interact one-on-one or something, one with a group. In addition to that, when you think about touring a stadium, there's a lot of fun to it. I mean, you can imagine like, it's the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. And now there's 2 Lombardi trophies, if you please, in the locker room, which was great. There's so much to learn about, it was a day of education too, right? Yeah. Because you're also learning about how a massive business like a stadium operates and how you've got just, all these different people function in all these different levels to do all these different things to ultimately bring you a football game. Well, a season of football games and then season upon season. It was just so eye-opening just to learn all the different things that they do to make this system run.
Yeah. And how many different organizations are under the umbrella, right? So like the city of Philadelphia, we learned, actually owns Lincoln Financial Field. So you have Lincoln Financial Field owned by the city of Philadelphia, but then you have the front office of the Philadelphia Eagles organization. But then you've also got their catering, which is a separate entity. You've also got all of the vendors and tickets and merch. They are their own separate entity. So you have all of these players that have to work together in order to make the day run smoothly. It's no different than what we do. We've got multiple players that all need to work and, communicate together to get you to the end of the road of either buying or selling a home. So it was interesting to see the parallels between that while also having just a great day of learning and reconnecting with some of our clients and who they may know. And it was just, I had a blast. Like, it's probably my second favorite event that we do.
Next to Pi Day?
Next to Pi Day.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun. And to see the little kids get so excited as they're walking through. So like, as soon as you walk in the entrance, they've got all of this like memorabilia on the left-hand side, right?
Yep.
So you walk in and you see WWE Championship. You see Taylor
You didn't
Swift.
like that one at all.
Not at all.
That one, and even Taylor Swift.
I tried to take it out of the case, and the lady was like, that needs to stay. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I'll leave it there. But then you see like the record from Taylor Swift. You see, I think it was boots from Thomas Rhett. Like there was just all of this memorabilia that you walk in and you go right into the media space, and all of a sudden you're sitting where your local and national news guys are that are calling the game, and you're like, okay, I'm sitting here where they get to see the game, and you're learning about how that process works. And you're just going through the stadium piece by piece, and then at the end, you get this grand exit, right, of lights, music, the whole 9 yards of what the players feel as they're going out onto the field, and you're running through the exact same tunnel that they're running through that you see. I mean, if you watch the game on Saturday, against the Browns, their preseason game, you got to see them coming back in through the tunnel that we were just at. So it was so cool to like, you can place where it was. And it was really fun because this time, not only were we able to get on the field, which we weren't last time, but the Browns were in the building. Yeah. So it was really cool to actually walk by the visitors' locker room and see like a team's name sitting on the little like identifier that's up on the top of the roof of the visitors' locker room. And I'm like, dang, like this is really awesome that there's actually working entities here. Usually it's like a dead man's land because you're going in the middle of the summer and like they're not prepping for the season. This time you had the merch guys in there and you're walking by all of the merch that they were getting ready for the season. Yeah. And you're seeing the chefs with all their carts with all the stuff that they're getting ready to put in for, you know, what they're serving for lunch that day. And we're just like, all the kids' eyes are like popping up like, oh my gosh, like there's people here. And then you walk in the locker room and you're like, this is where they actually, like, this is where the players are. And, you know, you've got the superstitions of not walking on the eagle, and not one kiddo walked on the eagle. They all were very respective.
Close.
Did one step on him?
No one stepped on it.
Good.
But one kid, he was...
he teetered?
I think he was getting a little tired, and but so it wasn't a big deal.
That's all right.
No, I mean, it was fine.
It was so much fun.
I think one of the cool things about it is, you know, every business I think that operates at some level has to have some systems.
Yeah.
Seeing the way that, you know, if you're obviously, our team is a very, very, very small, you know, group versus, you know, the Eagles organization and Lincoln Financial Field, et cetera, for sure. But, you know, we have systems. Yeah. They have systems. Yeah. And one of the things that I think is really cool is because the systems on, you know, talking about the Eagles now, because their systems function at such a high level and because they do such a great job, not only is the enjoyment of everyone that goes to the stadium and sees the games, and certainly even those of us who watch most of them on TV, you know, that we experience, we come back year after year to just to be a part of the team, to be a part of, you know, the Eagles organization from afar, from as a fan perspective. And that's what we want as well. That's what we want from our clients, from those people in our orbit, the people that were invited by our clients to that event, to other events. We want them to ideally keep coming back. When they think about real estate, to think about us. And it was an education. It was a lot of fun, and it was definitely entertainment. But I mean, speaking for me, probably for you too, Mish, there's a lot to be learned about how to run a business as they are a business.
100%.
And really have your eyes open to like, wow, you know, this is a very big business, a really big set of systems, and how they do it so well. I mean, it was awesome. And obviously the stadium is a separate entity from the team. Yeah. But of course they're intertwined because that's where the Eagles play. But we were there that day learning about the Eagles, but watching the system and the systems of Lincoln Financial Field at work. And it was mind-blowing. It
was complete. And someone even asked, like, how long does it take for the stadium to clear out and the trash to get picked up and all of that? And there is a very distinct system of how that happens. So they broke it down to even like systematize to, okay, this is when the trash people come in, we have to separate. They literally go through and separate everything from the trash to make sure that all the bottles are being recycled. That way they're consistent with their brand, which is green energy, and making sure that we are an efficient, stadium and city. So it was interesting to hear. And she's like, it takes, a couple hours to get it all done, but we can reset it. If they have a Sunday night game and then say they were to have a Monday night event, they could reset before anyone even steps foot in on Monday morning at 8 a.m.
Amazing.
Like, it was insane to me to listen to some of the things that they were saying from a system standpoint, even merchandise. Like, I was talking to our tour guide, Joe, about merch, and I was like, how does this work? I'm sure that the merch stands are completely packed during game day.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever been to the pro shop or one of the stands on the concourse during game day, like, those things are packed to the gills. And he's like, oh no, we've got training for days and weeks ahead of time on how to handle someone who's rowdy, on how to handle someone whose card declines. VIPs, they've literally have a training and a script and everything set so that these guys aren't flustered when whoever steps up. So say like someone comes up and they're like, we don't have this in our size, but we really want this. They will go out of their way to find it in a different section and bring it to them.
Yep.
Like it was insane, the amount of, and I say the word insane because to me, it's outside of my brain capacity that such a large organization breaks it down so small. And when we left, I said to Matt, I was like, if an organization like this can have everything so laid out, plan of action for everything, there's no reason that we can't do the same.
Yep.
And we've got systems in place. Of course we do. It's how we run. And it's how...
Thanks to my partner over here.
It's how my brain functions. But in the back of my brain, I'm going, oh, we could tweak that one. Or, oh, they have something for this. I really like that. Maybe we can implement something similar. And I think that's a really awesome part of going through a client event like that.
Yeah.
Because it lets you see the inner workings. And even I had a couple family members that were there and they came up to me and they went, I never would have thought about that. I never would have thought about the grounds crew. Yep. And the painting and the grass placement and having to pick it up for a concert and put it back down. Who knew that was even a thing? They're like, we just thought the thing went on top of the grass. No, they literally roll all of that up, put down the ground covering for whatever concert or dirt bike thing that is there, take all that out, roll everything back, but have to match the seams exactly.
Yep.
That grounds crew can flip that... The surface in a day if they have to. They prefer to, but they could do it in a day. And to me, that is a lot of yardage that you have to try and match seams, make sure paint lines are correct. Like if you go one wobble, you got to do it all over. But these guys have it down to a science. And it was so cool to see that from such a macro level, right?
And not only that, but they were also talking about how at Lincoln Financial Field, it's grass, it's real grass, it's sod that they lay down. And of course, at some other stadiums it's turf, but they had mentioned, I don't remember exactly, I think was it every 6 games or every 8 games? I think it's every 6 games.
I think it's every 6 games.
Yeah, they actually they take all of that off, all that grass, they recycle it. They bring it back to, I guess it's a sod farm or somewhere to recycle it. And then they bring in brand new and do it all over again. So that's only there for a good 6 games.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing. And, even though some of these details that we've actually heard before, because again, this was our 3rd trip back to Lincoln Financial Field for our tour, it just to hear them all over again, it hits differently every time I hear it. And I can hear those details again. I'm like, wow, that's right. It's just insane. Yeah. What do you think was your favorite part of this? Obviously, this is the 3rd time we've done it. What was your favorite part?
That's an interesting
And that cannot
question.
be the Lee's Hoagie House cheesesteaks and chicken fingers.
They were really phenomenal.
They were good. Thank you, John.
And our tailgate at the end, that was that was probably one of the highlights because everybody stayed and we got to chat with everybody. But if we're talking about
the tour itself,
tour itself, I was lucky enough to be walking with a little guy as he was going like around a corner by where the sensory area is for autism. And we were talking about the price that it was a price for the suite. It was when we got to go into one of the like mega suites, right? And they were saying how it's like $70,000 to rent this thing for one game, including food. Food was an additional minimum $1,500. And that
$1,000.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. A minimum of that. So we were like, that's
about $100,000
for one game, right? So we were walking around the corner after leaving there, and he turns to me and he goes, you know, we could just have a party at my house and you can come and we could watch the game there. Mom, is that okay? I
didn't even hear that.
And the mom looked at me and was like, did you just invite everybody on this tour to our house for a party? And he goes, yeah, Mom, they all, bring a plate. And me growing up, bring a plate was a thing. Like we had potlucks, right? So like everybody brought something. Someone brought the drinks, someone brought the snacks. So this little kid who had to be all of, I think, 8 years old just turns and goes, we can have a party at my house for that. We don't need the $70,000 suite. And I was like, buddy, that was the nicest thing that you could have said. So for me, it was so cool to see this little kid who was so excited to be in this suite, and he was nose to the glass, I'm telling you, looking like, this is so cool. But then to see like, no, I think I'd rather have everybody at my house than have a big old party than spend that money. But it was so cool because he was the same little kid who, as soon as he went into the press room and we told him that we were going to the locker room, he froze in the hallway because he got so excited. And we were like, you can walk in, it's okay. And he was like, I don't know if I can. And I'm like, 1 foot, you can do it. And his mom was like, come on, let's go. And he rounded the corner and he saw it, and you just saw him light up. And we were like, so does that $70,000 seem crazy now? He goes, no, let's go. And I was like, oh, buddy, I'm so sorry, Mom. But I think that was my favorite part, was seeing him have this like moment of, we don't need to spend all that money, but oh wait, yes we do, because this is really cool. And I was like, that was a big swing, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think for me, I loved being in the locker room.
Yeah.
Just, seeing where it all happens, where the guys sit there and just kind of like, close their eyes or do whatever it is they do to mentally prepare for a game. Yeah. Like that's where it happens. That's where the magic starts. I just love it. That's where, Coach Sirianni gives them their pep talks and stuff. I love that. From there, going out onto the field, the first year we did it, we did go out on the field, and that was awesome. And then last year, I think it was Pink was in town.
Yep.
So, they were setting up the field for the concert, so we didn't do that. But then, to be back on the field this year, that was also great.
I have to say another part was really cute because one of our sponsors, Monica, she brought both her grandsons with her, but one of the little kiddos that I was trying to corral them all for the photo, and he went and stepped on the yellow line that was on the field. And Monica's grandson went, get off the yellow line. Like you could see his heart start like racing because the other little guy was on the yellow line, and he like quickly got off, and our tour guide happened to be standing right there, and she started laughing. She's like, I love when I've got little kids because they take this so seriously. She's like, the adults just walk. They don't really pay much mind. She's like, but those little guys, man, I tell them what to do, and they're like, you do not cross that line. You walk in a single file line. Like, they were on it, and they were telling people what to do, and it was just so funny. So thank you so much, Monica, for bringing them, because they brought me so much joy throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, and it does bear repeating, by the way, that Monica Palatano from MPB Mortgage was one of our sponsors. Monica sponsored the event with us, which was great to have you, Monica.
Yes, thank you.
And then in addition, as we already mentioned before, John Waxman with Lee's Hoagie House from the Abington and Horsham stores. We also that's where we got our cheesesteaks, our chicken fingers. It was great to have 102 people tailgating in the parking lot in K-Lot with us after the event.
Yeah.
There was not a piece of food to be found. They were housed. All of our cooler full of ice water and
juice boxes. Everything was gone.
It was great.
It was so much fun. And I think it was serendipitous, right? Because as soon as everything was gone, it started to rain. And we were like, this is perfect timing because
Bye.
we were like, thanks so much for coming. We'll see you all at the next one. And they all were asking like, when is this happening again? What's your next event? When can we do this? And I was like, well, fingers crossed we can do the link again next year. We know the city of Philadelphia has a bunch of events going on, but we'll see if we can get in.
Maybe with a third Lombardi trophy, should I say it?
I don't know. I mean, I hate to be that person who jinxes it, but let's just say we hope for a great season.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Let's hope that Landon
is okay.
We're praying for you, buddy. We know that you're Superman, so we're hoping that your knee heals up quickly and we see you back on the field, hopefully for that flag raising ceremony against Dallas.
We'll just leave it there.
We'll just leave it at that. But I mean, we hope that we can do that again. We'll definitely go back to Citizens Bank Park. If you missed that one, that was a fun tour to see kind of the behind the scenes of the Phillies organization, which again is an amazing
system.
And there's no other way to say that. But in the near future, a couple people came up to me while we were tailgating and was like, hey, have you ever thought about like a Halloween themed event? And it was funny because the week prior I'd emailed Matt before I went on vacation, said, hey, I think we should try to do a Halloween movie night. And he was like, yeah, we got the stuff. Why not? And then, okay, yeah, let's do it. Can we recognize that was one of your mad scientist moments? It was one of my mad scientist moments. I'm usually the mad scientist. They don't happen often, but this one I threw in the pot and I was like, let's just run with it. How hard could it be? So in October, I'm waiting on the date and A-OK from our building here on when we can host it. But we're going to do our own version of Trunk or Treat and a drive-in movie style Halloween movie. So if you've got any Halloween movies that you would love to see, drop them down. I've thrown out Hocus Pocus. I've thrown out Hotel Transylvania. Halloween, maybe. I mean, Friday the 13th. Those kind of freak me out. But especially at night, it's got to be kid friendly. But it's got to be a little kid friendly with our Trunk or Treat. So we'll see if we can, what movies we can throw out there, and hopefully you guys can help us vote on that, and we'll release a date soon. And in addition, soon, we will also have the photos and we'll have the video from our partner and friend, Chris Kellyman. Chris actually does all of our video, photography, floor plans, 3D tours, drone work, etc. for all of our listings and all of our, he also did the tour this year as well. Yep. So as soon as that's available, we will make sure to release that. So everyone that was there gets to see, like a little kind of behind the scenes about, what we enjoyed. And those of you who didn't make it, you can also look back at the first one we did with Chris as well a couple years ago. But hopefully you'll join us next year, presuming we go back. So again, Chris, thanks so much for doing a great job for us. That we appreciated it. Absolutely. So then our biggest event of the year, Pi Day is coming in November. It will be the Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We might switch up locations this year. Typically, it's in this room that we're recording right now at our office. But we may have to look at a secondary location just for logistics purposes that week. We're getting a little busy here in our office, so they might kick us out. But we hope that you join us for Pi Day. We give away a free pie to our clients and local communities as a thank you, and take one thing off your plate for the Thanksgiving holiday. And also the local VFW as well. We like to, as always, as you'll see in the, as we shoot this, it's the podcast that's actually coming out 2 days from now. You'll see a little more about the work that we do with our veterans. But we'll be donating some to them too, and getting everyone in the Thanksgiving spirit. That's all I had, Mish. I think I'm good. Got, yeah. All right. So listen, thank you all for joining us on this current episode of the Keychain podcast. Yeah. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Thanks, guys.